Okay, we've got the newly released Soundcore Motion 300 high-res audio going up against the newly released Tribit Stormbox Flow. Now these two look very familiar and they look very similar. Wonder if Bose has any influence on these guys. Let's check these two out and see which one may be better than the other. Let's roll. Alright, so if you've got headphones, put them on for this little comparison. I'm going to run a couple of their standard EQs, and then we'll run a custom EQ. So start with, we're going to have both of these in their default, which for the Soundcore, right there, it's their Soundcore signature EQ. And for the Tribit, it's the one there that says, I don't know if you can see it, it says music, the top one. That's their default EQs. So we're on the Tribit right now, and this is, it's very low at 20%. I'll show you. That's 20%. Very, very low volume. Of course, it is 20%. Motion 300 at 20. It's quite a bit louder and fuller sounding. Flow. Let's go ahead and bump the volume up to 40. 40% on the flow. Motion. Just has a cleaner sound. That's 40 on the motion. Flow. Flow's got a little bit noise to it. Motion. And then it sounds exaggerated on the motion. Flow. Go up to 60%. Motion. That's 60 on the motion. Flow, let's go up to 80. Motion. This is 60. Now this is running the Motion 300 and it's LDAC codec, so it's a higher quality. So that'll eat up more battery, but man, between these two, just on that one track, you can just hear how much clearer, and the fact that it's a stereo speaker, it has two drivers, the Motion 300, whereas the Flow is just a mono. You can really tell the difference in the two of them, how they sound, how they're presenting something, because you'll get a little bit of more layers to the sound, I guess you could say, with the Soundcore. It just sounds a little more detailed and layered. The Flow sounds a little more like flat coming at you, like there's not layers to it, if you will. Let's go back to it and we'll change tracks here. This is the Motion 300. At 60%. Flow at 80. There it is with that bass. I just can't do it. Let me pause this here. Now, if you watch the video I did, the last video I did on the Tribit against the X Sound Mega, there was a stark difference in the bass capability of the speakers. This track, you can just hear how that bass is just a thud noise. Listen to it on the Motion 300 and see what the difference is. Back to it. That's the Tribit. Motion. Even the motion's a lot fuller sounding. This is at 60. Let's go to 80. Flow. Motion. That's just I'm sorry, but the Motion 300's killing it, at least with their default EQs. Just killing this flow. So let me change the EQs and we'll see what else we have. Alright, so now I've changed both speakers to another one of their default factory EQs, which is extra bass. They both have an extra bass EQ. So we're gonna start this with the Motion on the left at 60%. Flow at 80%. Motion. Let's take the Motion up to 80. Flow. Motion. Flow. Change track. Still on the flow at 80. Motion. It's struggling a little on that bass. Flow. Motion. Flow. So it's just between the two. Of course, you might say it's not a fair fight because I'm running the Soundcore in its LDAC codec, but that's what it's there for. I mean, it's there to use it to see what it can do, because in the previous videos I wasn't using that. So when you use that, it definitely makes a difference in the sound quality with the LDAC codec, but it's just a much cleaner sound. Like I said, it's a little more layered. The Motion 300 still is not really a big bass machine. I mean, but it is better. You can tell it's better at producing a lower end fullness than the Tribit is. The Tribit struggles. Tribit has a real messy sound. Like the mids and highs are kind of all, it just sounds messy. I call some of those previous Soundcore speakers, like the rave party and stuff, have a dirty sound. It's kind of like that, but it's just, everything's kind of messed together. It doesn't sound clear. So let's try some custom EQs. Let me change that and we'll see what we have. Alright, so on the custom EQ, what I'm running on the Tribit Flow right there. Don't want to go too crazy with bass on this thing because it just really can't handle it. So you're just making things worse by trying to elevate the bass. And then here's what I'm rocking on the Soundcore Motion 300. So we'll go back to it, and we're still on the flow right now, so we'll just leave it right there. Let me back this song up. All right, 60%. We're on the flow. You can tell right there, it's kind of that little bass pop is not good. Motion. That's 60%. Flow. Change track, still on the flow, 60. Motion. Flow. Let's go up to 80 on the flow. Yeah. Motion. Take it up to 80. Flow. Let's go up to max volume on the flow. Stop for a second. Now with some speakers I've had in the past, you can tell when the bass limiter's kicking in, it almost makes the overall sound in that area where the bass is kind of reduced. If you listen to this, you can kind of hear that the overall sound, not just the bass is being cut, but it gets, as that bass is hitting, the volume level is dropping just a little bit. So it's really scooping that out to keep that bass from distorting, and you can tell that. Go back and listen to it here. Motion. Max volume. Flow. Motion. Change track, still max volume. Flow. Motion. Let's go down to 60%. Flow. 60%. Motion. Go down to 40. Flow. 40. So there you go, guys. The comparison of the two newest Bose knockoffs, Soundlink Flex knockoffs, if you will. So it's probably no surprise that I would take the Soundcore Motion 300. I think it has a better overall sound. It has better bass capability. It's clearer. Like I said, it has a little bit more of a layered sound to it. You do have two drivers, whereas the Tribit is just a mono speaker. It's the same setup as the XL Mega, only not as powerful. So the Tribit if maybe, you know, like I said, if the Soundcore Motion 300 didn't exist, it might be a good option. But both of these I think retail for $80. So, and the Motion 300 also has a sensor in it where you can set up custom EQs for how it's oriented, like standing like that, or laying down, or hanging, which the Tribit doesn't have. So with the prices being equal and these coming out literally days apart, in a week or so maybe, I see no reason to buy that Tribit. I think it does have the longer battery life. That's probably the one area where it will excel. And like I said, the Motion 300, if you run that in the LDAC codec, it will eat more battery. So it does have the advantage in the battery department, but other than that, I don't really understand. Tribit really kind of, they came out second. So it's kind of like somebody comes out with something that's really good, and then you're like, oh, yeah, well, we've got something kind of like that, but it's not as good. But we'll charge you the same price. Just doesn't fly. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like I've said in other videos, if somebody just offered me one of these, said, here, you can have one of these for free, I'd have no problems taking the Motion 300 easily over the Stormbox Flow. Like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Do it today. It's free, costs you nothing, and I guarantee you'll get every bit of nothing out of this channel. And I don't want to say that the Stormbox Flow is a bad speaker. It probably, I'm painting it kind of like it's awful. It's not awful. It's a good speaker, but it just is not as good as the Motion 300. That's a wrap, guys.